They say it's what's inside that counts.
What's inside that counts.
When it comes to cabinets, it's both what's inside and outside that counts. Today, we're tackling one of the age-old mysteries in kitchen design: framed cabinets, frameless cabinets, and inset cabinetry. What are the differences? Which is better? How do you know what's right for your home and your budget? I'm Charlie with Armada Design and Build. After 20 years and hundreds of remodels, I can tell you that your cabinetry style sets the tone for your entire kitchen, maybe the house. Let's break it down. Simple, clear, and maybe with a little humor along the way. Never. So first up, the tried and true frame cabinetry. All right, think of frame cabinets as the classic jeans, reliable, traditional, and they never really go out of style. They're a little bit going out of style, but it's definitely the cabinets you grew up with. This display right here, this actually is Armada cabinetry. We now have our own cabinet line and they are all framed. 3 different samples down here: a door drawer, full height door, and 3 drawer. These are all framed, and if I don't know, you can really pick it up there, but behind the drawer heads there is a matching color. Let me pull this out for you. And so when I open the door, you see this face frame behind the door, and it really looks like a picture frame that you would hang on the wall and put a picture in. The cabinet is the same depth as a frameless cabinet. It's to the front of this, and then the door and drawer close on top of the frame. Right, so that is a traditional, what we would call a full overlay framed cabinet. A difference that you might see with a framed cabinet is the full overlay, what's referred to as full overlay. This is full overlay, where the door and drawer are really trying to cover as much of the frame as possible. A more traditional style would be a little bit smaller door on the same cabinet, so that there is a larger reveal between doors and drawers and you see more of the frame. So that's the look that a lot of people have, and the one they want to get away from, why frameless cabinets are so popular these days. So next, I've got a full height door, kind of dark. I don't know how easy it's going to pick up on camera, but here's the frame around it. You see that the door is attached, the hinge is attached here to the frame of the cabinet itself. Well, that's another sort of pro-con, is that frameless cabinets, you can get a lot more adjustment in your hinges than you can in ones that attach to a framed cabinet. So if that's important. But here's a full height door, framed, full overlay. So that's what that looks like. And then next door, we've just got a 3 drawer. This one's painted. So with the drawers, you pull it out and you can see the frame again behind the drawer head when it's all closed. So a little tour of some frame cabinets, just an example. Come on into the showroom, you can see them here. Some of the pros of frame cabinetry: they're sturdy, they're familiar, they do have a lot of flexibility, they're a little bit easier to install, and sometimes cost a little bit less than the others that we're gonna get into. All right, some of the cons: a little bit less storage space, they don't quite function the same, and mostly it's the look. People just don't like the look. They don't like that spacing between the doors and drawers. All right, so the second thing, and this is in no particular order, number 2 is frameless cabinets, or full access cabinets is what they're calling them today a lot, because they don't like a word less, like you're taking something away. So it's full access or frameless cabinets. That's your sleek European cousin. So for decades and decades, Americans were making frame cabinets, and then in the 90s, there was a big import of European cabinets. That's when the frameless cabinets came into being and became very popular. So now we kind of have both. There is no frame attached to the front of the opening. If you take the door or the drawer off, you just see the edges of the box. This entire vignette, which is a working kitchen, by the way, in our showroom, which you can come see, is all frameless cabinets. Now, don't look at this part down here, because this is an add-on that we've put here to accent this a little bit. And then this piece over here is also an add-on to make it look a little cooler. But really what we're looking at is this cabinet right here. So right here, this is one cabinet, and this is an adjacent cabinet. 2 different cabinets. There's a two cabinets butted together right back here. So when I open this door, you see right here, this is the bottom of the cabinet and there's no frame, it's just the thickness. Now this is obviously a shelf. Over here you can't really see because the 6-way adjustable hinge is attached to the side of the cabinet here, but this is a frameless look. You can tell by that it's just essentially all door. So pros for a frameless cabinet, a little bit more storage, kind of a minimalist or a little cleaner, more contemporary style of design. There's smooth lines, kind of the look, and there's no gapping. Cons, what are the negatives of a frameless cabinet? They can cost more typically. They definitely require more precision from an installation standpoint. There just really is not any room for error there. They gotta be right on the money. A little bit detail oriented or very obvious kind of things. If they're misaligned, you'll see it. All right, and then the third variant that I wanted to talk about today is inset cabinets. All right, now the thing about inset cabinets is it's a framed cabinet that has at its base is how it starts, okay? But they're very tailored like a suit. They're very sharp, they're very elegant. Again, quite traditional American cabinetry. It was one of the early styles of the way cabinets and furniture were made in the US, more for a traditionally styled home. So we've got a 4-drawer, which was a custom that we wanted 4 even drawers here, and then these 2 doors. And I don't know again how well you can see this on camera, but the drawers here, you see the drawer head open up like this, and then you've got a frame all the way around every one of the openings. So if I open up this door, you see frame, 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 and then I close it, and it closes flush with the frame of the whole cabinet. Quite cool, traditional American cabinetry, and we have them all here for you in the showroom. So come on in and take a look. Pros with inset cabinets, definitely a premium look, really incredible craftsmanship. Not all cabinet companies will make them because they are difficult to make well. A lot of companies just say pass. Some of the downside cons to an inset door is that they are typically the most expensive variant. A little bit less storage. The spacing can get difficult sometimes with how you lay them out, and so you can have these gaps or whatever. Anytime you always have a true wood everything, over time wood will expand and contract, and so that seasonal expansion and contraction, depending on what you pick, can often be seen in an inset door, so just something to be mindful. Let's imagine for a second your farmhouse kitchen with a shaker door. That could be framed. Your modern condo with a glossy finish, like really shiny kind of thing, that would certainly be a frameless candidate. Your forever home with custom woodwork would be where you might want to go at the inset, perhaps mixing some stained wood with some painted, because there's a lot of mix there too, and that paint really makes that inset stand out sometimes. Cabinetry is a 15 to 20 year investment minimum, hopefully, longer. If you're going to be there a while, you're going to open and close these doors thousands and thousands of times, so make sure you're thinking about long-term value, right? Not just that upfront cost, because you want it to last. Like, what's the durability of this product, right? You gotta walk that fine line of durable and gonna look good and last a long time, but I'm not overspending, right? But you can definitely spend too little and sort of get something that's really not gonna stand the test of time. So that can be a bummer. Framed, frameless, or inset, the right choice is the one that matches your home, your budget, and your lifestyle. At Armada, we carry all these styles in multiple manufacturers, and our designers can help you decide based not just on looks, but also on lifestyle, what works right for you. Because we do full remodels, and we'll show you how cabinetry integrates with your flooring, your countertops, and your lighting. These aren't just things you decide in a vacuum, right? It's a cohesive thought, sort of one whole look that you want to pull together. If you're still unsure, come by Armada's showroom and we'll let you touch, test, and compare them side by side. I'm Charlie, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.